I was so excited to get my new box from Carpe Diem Simple Stories because it's so much fun to play and decorate your planner with brand new planner supplies. And this collection is absolutely brand new. It is the Simple Vintage Traveler. What else could be more perfect to use in your traveler's notebook than a traveler collection? There's a lot of muted colors, pastels, and a vintage traveler theme. The perfect thing to do with this collection is to create a travel planner, right? A travel planner in a traveler's notebook with a travel collection. Perfect. Anyway, okay, so the first thing that I like to do is to do the pockets because the pockets are my favorite. And it's just fun to start with something you love. So I wrapped some washi around a card, added some chipboard, some die cuts from the collection. I added the black speckle washi because I love how the black makes the pastel colors really pop. Plus it's the same design as the TN. It's black with cream dots and the TN is cream with black dots. So it matches and it makes the colors pop at the same time. When I do the pockets, I always try to vary up color, shape, size so that I get a good mix so it's not repetitive and it really is more attractive than if you just have a bunch of the same thing. One thing I did want to mention, when I'm putting the adhesive on the back of the die cuts, I'm touching the adhesive either to the back of my hand or my fingers to take a little bit of the sticky out. When I stick it to the TN, like the faux leather, it won't damage it or pull it or leave like a sticky residue. Then I sprinkled a few enamel dots around to make it pop. I go bulky on my pockets because there really isn't, I don't usually have to write on them and it doesn't get in the way enough. There's enough book usually to cushion so I don't have to worry. Next, I'm going to decorate that long pocket in the back. That's a really good place to put your tickets or your passport or things like that. But for now, I'm just going to decorate it with these pattern papers and a little bit of trim. Again, with the black speckled pattern, I'm going to make those pastel colors from the collection really pop. I love a bit of trim in my planner, especially if you can get the colors to match up as nicely as they do here. Pockets like this one can be really helpful for you when you're traveling to hold all your documents and papers. And if you're looking for more of a hidden pocket, I do have a video where you can hide things in the back pocket. So I will link that here. I went through and I found a cute little tab, so I'm adding that to this pocket as well. And don't be afraid if something doesn't work the first time you put it down to move it around and find a new home for it because these stickers are really great. They stick well, but they don't rip the paper when you pull them back up again. Now I'm going to start covering the inserts so they're just a little more pretty than the regular craft. I chose this specific paper for the first insert of my book because it has Nova Scotia, Canada on it, and that's where I grew up. It's really rare to find that, so I thought it would be a good idea to have it front and center, and I'll show you that once I get this one decorated. I'll show you that up close. A tip for covering inserts: cover one cover first and then close the book and wrap the paper around. It'll make sure that your book opens and closes a lot easier and you won't have any pull or it won't be too tight. If you do it with the book flat open, then you'll have trouble closing the book afterwards. Then of course I round the corners because I always round the corners of my inserts. I love rounding my corners. Everything just feels so much, it just feels finished when everything's rounded. Then I did the other two books the same and I put everything into the traveler's notebook. I started off with a couple of tabs just to basically make the side of the book look prettier, but then also I'll be able to section off my book into different parts as well. I was a bit at a loss for this first cover because it already has sort of a bit of decoration. I didn't know what to do, so I found these 4x4 cards and then I decided to start with the other two books, which had a simpler background with almost a solid color as the background. I love these 4x4 cards, so I cut those apart and I'm going to use those on the second two books. Now the second two books, I like them to stay flat, and then I usually can go a little bit more bulky on the first one. So adding some washi, some stickers, as well as the card. The book stays relatively flat, but I can still add lots of fun things and make it look super pretty. I was moving things around and I was liking the way it was looking, but there was just something missing. I needed something to sort of pop off the page. So what I did was I went to one of the sticker tablets and I took the little circles that go around the rings of a ring planner. I took the inside, used that as like a dot, like an enamel dot, but flat, and then I used the ring as well and added that as an element, and I love the way it turned out. I continued on in sort of a similar fashion with the third book and added a bit of die cuts and stickers and that cute little airplane, and I kept it simple, but that big card really pops and I love the way that this one looks as well. I struggled with the compass that I put down. I couldn't figure out the circle that I want to put in that above that little flag, and I finally went back to the compass and liked the way it worked out. Now my problem with that first book was that everything was sort of all the same tone. There was nothing that really stood out. And because it already had a lot of decoration, I didn't want to cover up too much. So I was having trouble getting something to pop off the page. I really liked the adventure, but it just sort of seemed to fade into the page. Even though it was chipboard and a little bit thicker. So what I ended up doing is putting that strip of washi down the side of the book and then putting that compass at the top. It looks really neat. And then I cut some little flags from the word strips of this pattern paper, and that really helped make it stand out and anchor the adventure so it stood out a bit more. I also added some flags from the black paper and some enamel dots, but they kind of didn't get filled. But you'll see it at the end. There's the Nova Scotia, so you can get a look at that and see that little tiny province is where I grew up. One of my favorite things is dry erase lists, and I do have a video on that, so I will link you up. But all it is taking something that you can write on with a permanent marker and then again with the dry erase marker and rub it off. What I used here was the packaging from the enamel dots, and I stuck it to the back of this layered frame, and then I just wrote in the list with permanent marker, and then I can check off the list with a dry erase marker and erase it after. Now we're on to the outside of the planner, and when you're traveling in a way, you want your planner to look really good. So we're adding lots of clips to the planner, lots of tabs and things to make it fun. I'm adding a bit more hot glue than I normally would because it'll take a little bit more wear and tear when it's in my carry-on and I'm traveling around. I'm taking tabs from the sticker pack and just backing them. They're exactly the same shape and size, so I can put one behind the other and they'll stick to each other and hold on to the book. And then I'm taking some from the sticker tablet as well to give that black and white polka dotted pop, again, to sort of carry out the theme throughout the entire TN. A phrase sticker from the sticker pack and then a little enamel dot make it a little bit more unique than just your regular old tab. Then I'm making a pom-pom clip with a craft knife and some hot glue. If you want me to make a tutorial about that, let me know in the comments below. You can also tell me in the comments below the last place that you visited. If you like this video, please subscribe because I have lots of videos coming up, including a tutorial coming tomorrow on how to make swag for the front of your TN, sort of like the one you can see there. So give me a big thumbs up, come back again, and have a fantastic day, and happy planning.